All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the MaxSpeedTV After Hours. Here it is at 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and we're gearing up for another great race. But before we get to all of that, we want to go through all the sponsors, of course, that make all of this possible here tonight. One of our newest ones we're still kind of in talks with. We'll know more come Monday of next week. That is Menu Runners. Hopefully, if we do sign on with them, we'll be giving out some cool stuff from them, I'm sure. But again, they are here in Texas and I believe Oklahoma. And if you're not in your area, you should message them about getting in your area. Again, MenuRunners.com. They can deliver just about anything. If you message them, they can try to get you partnered with restaurants in your area that don't normally deliver, even fast food restaurant chains, and they can get that delivered to your house. Excuse me. SimSpeedShop.com. They have some awesome looking button boxes, and I just saw some shifters. Sorry about that, having some issues here with coughing all of a sudden. SimSpeedShop.com. Definitely check them out. We saw they had some e-brakes on their website as well, so make sure you check that out. Elite 7 Racing, big team here that helps us out, so make sure you check them out as well. Alright, sorry again, we are having some fits here with the coughing going on today. Ohio IndyCar League, definitely check them out. We're actually going to be broadcasting them here shortly on MaxSpeedTV. They also are a partner with us, so make sure you check their league out if you are in the Ohio club. On the racing side of things, we have Sanctuary Studios. They are the title sponsor of this series. Again, this is the Northwest Truck Series presented by Sanctuary Studios. And as well, we will have an onboard camera here with one of those drivers running that one. Tonight it looks like it's going to be Josh Cushman. He is the owner of that company. Highway Equipment Company, another sponsor here. They have two divisions, one of those being a new leader. We will have two drivers running onboard cameras here tonight, Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow, as well as Highway. Again, we will have John Ottenbacher and Sean Brightsman running onboard cameras for those. And another onboard camera, we'll have Chris White running the SimStar Motorsports onboard camera here tonight. So a lot of great sponsors, partners all on board here. We are watching practice here for the next few minutes. So without further ado, we do want to introduce our obviously a co-commentator, whatever you want to call it here tonight. That is KR Stolfus. So welcome once again, KR, to the booth.
Well, thank you very much, Charles, for having me tonight. I heard a lot of things about your coughing, and I've also heard that a big old bottle of hooch will fix that.
It very well may. I need something to burn this out. It is just getting horrible there right as we started, but looks like we may have got that under control. Maybe whatever it is you have over there is helping me somehow. It's definitely was not fun there, having a little fit with the coughing, but again, it looks like we might have it under control, at least for the moment. But as always here, we got about 15-16 minutes to go. Before we get to the point standings here, we always make it a tradition here on the late night broadcast, at least, to kind of pick who we think is a favorite, or who we would like to see in victory, and who we think has the best shot. For some reason or another, I just can't get off Jeff Stabnow. I think he's really overdue for a win here. He's been having such good runs, but somehow at the end of the run, just something always happening to him that gets him involved in a wreck. But I really think tonight is his night. So once again, just like the Xfinity cars and last week, I think I'm going to go with him again this week.
You're picking Jeff Stabnow, but I gotta tell you, man, we're here in the trucks. We're here at Auto Club Speedway. Jeff Stabnow, I'm not feeling it from him. I'm gonna go with John Ottenbacher tonight. John Ottenbacher doing a really good job, running some good laps, but unfortunate situation around him in the last few races. But here he is tonight. the 89 machine, the John Ottenbacher. That's going to be my pick. I'm going to be watching this guy. He may not win, but I'm for sure picking him to be in the top 5 tonight.
Well, definitely, he will definitely put up a good run, regardless whether he wins. All these guys up here are going to put together terrific runs, regardless of where they end up finishing. I look to see. I bet we'll have at least 4 or 5 different lead changes here. Some of them may be under pit strategy. Get out there, get to the front by not pitting or getting off cycle. As with the Xfinity, I don't see too many cautions coming tonight. Again, for the sheer fact that this track is very wide and kind of self-cleaning. As we saw in the Xfinity race, we had drivers go through the grass and no caution came out. So I see maybe 2 cautions with these. Also, with the exception of the Xfinity being fixed, this is open setup, so these guys spend hours and hours tuning these trucks, so they're a little more comfortable with the setups.
Yeah, this is an open setup league. The trucks are open, the Xfinity is fixed, and here we are tonight with a long practice session, and these guys fine-tuning, making the final adjustments here. And we have just about 20 minutes left, a little under 20 minutes left to practice. And some of the guys who are strong competitors, not high up on the charts. I'm looking at Chris White. He's running a 40.942 right now. Kind of mid-pack. That's someone that's surprising to be there. Scott Hutchinson, we look to him each and every week whether or not he's going to join the race. But the one race he did join, man, he was up front while he was out there.
Yeah,
but good. Here he is with a 41.108. So a little bit of a mix-up today with our top drivers versus everyone else. I mean, look at Gary Nichols in the 8 car, or truck, I should say. He's in a 42-second bracket. So it's a huge mix-up right now with the trucks.
Yeah, Gary Nichols has been having some really, really good runs. And it makes you kind of wonder, maybe he hasn't gone out and run the fastest lap as he could. Some of these guys running the 40.5s, they very well could be running qual lines and qual tape. And with these trucks, they will overheat very quickly. You cannot tape them up too much, any more than about 40% usually, and they will get really hot really fast. So you don't want to put a whole lot of tape on them. And I believe there's actually a minimum that you can put on, so that makes it a little more tricky itself.
Yeah, and this track is a super tricky track to begin with. The drivers are going to be diving into turn 1. They're going to have a lot of confidence going into corner entry, but that confidence is going to be their undoing. They're going to lay into the throttle coming out from middle of the corner to exit, and that car is just going to let loose coming out of turn 2. It's going to take them until they get to the backstretch wall and smack into that wall before they realize they are in trouble.
Indeed. We got about 11 minutes left here, so a good time to pull up our point standings here. And you were talking about Mark Walls earlier. He's your points leader right now, only by 2 points over Jeff Stabnow. So those two, we really got to keep an eye on them, as Jeff Stabnow could regain the points lead here tonight.
Man, these points are going to go up and down. Each and every week we have, let's say, 5, 6 drivers who could win it. It's so hard to pick because you don't know what's going to happen. This is a very talented field, and that's what causes these situations. You have this talented field. Anyone could win at any point in time, and picking a winner is just becomes difficult.
It really does. Like you said, at any given time, anybody could win. When we were putting the point standings in here, there was quite a bit of shaking up going on around here. As you look around 5th place, Andy Vogt, Jason Hunt, John Ottenbacher, 162 points, 161, 160. So those 3 guys only separated by 1 point apiece for a battle for 5th. So a very good battle. between those two.
Very good battle, like you said. But, man, I got to tell you, Sean Brightsman in fourth, he does a great job. But was it Monday night in the Xfinity Series, he had a bit of an unfortunate incident here in the track in the Xfinity car. So, I'm not sure if that scarred him. I don't know if he's going to make a recovery, but I'm going to be watching Sean Brightsman pretty close. He had a rough time Monday night, and here in the trucks, we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, definitely can. Anything's possible, with these trucks. Like I said, I don't think we'll see too many cautions, but, I have been proven wrong before, so we'll see. Maybe we'll have, several cautions. I don't know. It's really going to make pit strategy very questionable out here, to say the least. Who's going to stay out and try to lead a lap? Who's going to come in and get fresh tires? All that's, stuff that you don't know until we get this race started. Again, with about 8.5 minutes to go. We'll just have to keep a look. David Applegate won. We usually see about mid-pack. He's back in 21st right now here in practice, so he's also one that's a little further back than we're used to seeing him.
Yeah, and William Fletcher, he's sitting in third on the practice charts, someone we haven't really talked a whole lot about beforehand. But, Brandon Peters in fourth, Josh Cushman fifth, and that's on the practice charts. So we'll see what we come up with in qualifying. And I got to tell you, man, I'm really looking forward to this race. I'm excited for it. I got some positive vibes from the drivers who we were talking to beforehand. And, oh, man, when things break out, I'm ready for it.
It definitely is going to be a good race, as we got about 25 drivers here. And interesting enough, Sean Brightsman has not taken a time yet. So he's may hold off till the actual qualifying starts. Maybe he's got a fast car. He don't want to reveal what he has too soon.
No, Sean Brightsman, one of those guys that likes to wait till the last minute. Doesn't like to show his hand. He's typically very fast in any car he jumps into. And I don't know. I don't know what his thought process is, but when he gets out on track, he's going to be fast.
Yeah, he definitely will indeed. But do want to remind everyone, we have a lot of racing still coming up this week. So we'll get rid of that real fast for you and to pull up our top 10 here. Later on this week, we do have the Laura Truck Series, the DSRL 360 Open Series. Next week, of course, we have the Northwest Xfinity Series and the Nordic iRacing Series. And that's just some of the ones we had that I grabbed right offhand. We know KRU have quite a few races coming up as well, so a lot of good big races coming up here the remainder of this week and next week here on MaxSpeedTV. So we got, you got 3 wide, just finished them up here earlier tonight. We got American Racing League, so a lot of big races that we cover here. Those are all coming up later this week and next week.
Oh, man, I got to tell you, we got a lot of great action coming your way here at MaxSpeedTV. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, make sure you do. And if you haven't thumbed up this broadcast yet, we ask that you do, because it lets us know we're doing a good job. And if we're not doing a good job, we get depressed. And when we get depressed, well, anything can happen.
This is true. We don't like being depressed. So definitely, if you're new here tonight, hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button as well to be notified of all the races we do here. But again, we have about 5 minutes to go before we get started. We've pretty much covered it all here, but why not? Let's see if we can't get Mark Walls in here and possibly get a quick interview in here with him. Mark Walls, you got a copy?
4.
Don't want to keep you too long. Got about 4.5 minutes to go. But you're coming near the points leader. 2 points over Jeff Stabnow. You just gained it last week. So, y'all two are teammates here. So, what's it like in the garage area, being teammates 2 points away from each other, coming into this race? Obviously, you're going to race each other clean. You always do, but does it change anything, or is it really just another race out there to you?
Well, I think for us, we got to look at the big picture. You don't make it into the chase trying to pass a teammate and taking you both out. Stay up in that top 5 throughout the whole thing. Guarantee that spot in the case. You'll see plenty of room given. It's a big racetrack where you can let somebody by and he'll keep speed. So we're going to do it again and try to just run up front.
Well, definitely, we're looking forward to see some great racing here. I expect to see everyone up towards the front once it's all said and done, especially y'all's team up there. Always fast here. So, in your eyes looking at this, you've got a strong field as always. But if you had to give it a percentage thing, what do you think your percentage chance is of putting this thing in the victory lane here tonight?
Oh man, that's waiting to happen. I mean, this race could be won by anybody. Say me, that would be selfish. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys out there, so it's going to be a battle to get wins. They don't come easy. Come down to late race strategies and maintaining tires. So
go ahead. But speaking of tires, we don't want you to give away your secrets, of course. But just in a general ballpark area, as far as tires versus fuel, about how many laps you think you get on these tires here, just for in general, necessarily what you're planning on, but in general, about how many laps you think you'll get out of these tires before you're really going to be screaming, I want some fresh Goodyears?
Yeah, I think our truck's pretty good the first 20 laps, very consistent, and then you start noticing the fall off in lap time and the just the handle of the truck, so I think you'll see a lot of top speeds the first 20 laps and then start fading off and really seeing who saved some tire and managed it the rest of the way.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see here who can conserve tires, who is going to try something crazy with pit strategy here tonight. But we're going to get to the national anthem, so thanks for joining us in the booth, and with any luck, we'll see you here in just a little bit in Victory Lane. All right, we're going to step away, get to the national anthem, and then we'll be right back with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Green flag is officially underway. Again, this is another one of those tracks, 10 minutes for qualifying instead of 5. So again, they get 10 minutes. I believe they do get 3 laps come out on the track. And looks like we already have drivers starting to come out onto the track here, as we will switch over to Trenton Barrington, who is on the track right now, trying to put in a time.
Barrington, the first one hitting the track. He's already up to almost full song in the truck here at Auto Club Speedway. Down the backstretch he goes, diving off into turn 3. Coming out of turn 4, we're going to see what kind of lap time he can turn. Getting ready to take the green flag on the clock. Here he goes, folks. Hold on to your butts, because it's going to be interesting.
Yes, definitely. Either stand up, sit down, do something, but make sure you're secure with whatever you do. This is going to be some exciting racing. But we're just in qualifying right now, and even now they're going to put in some really fast times, as it looks like we have quite a few drivers out. Andy Votes out as well, Steve Stillstad out, William Fletcher, Kip Leo, Carl Burks out on the track, Tom Green, Jason Hunt, Matt Henry, John Ottenbacher, Gary Nichols, and Doug Hunt, all those out on the track right now. But again, we can only follow one at a time, so we're following Trenton Barrington as he was the first one out, and he is going to put in the first time right there as he crosses the line, and it's obviously going to be the fastest time with a 40.848 for now.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if that can stand the test of time. John Ottenbacher logging a lap in with a 40.870, so Ottenbacher scored on the sheet second place right now, but we're going to see as more and more drivers start crossing the line who and what's going to finish where. Steve Sealstad jumping to the top of the charts.
He did indeed, and not by much, 0.081 is Andy Votes going to take fourth with a 40.943. Gary Nichols, who again, we talked about him, he was at the bottom at practice. Look where he's at now, sitting in 6th place right now with a 41.109. So he definitely was not running his fastest lap there. Maybe kind of sandbagging a little bit not to give away his best time.
Jason Hunt, Doug Hunt, currently 8th and 9th with a 41.146 and a 41.171. So a family team effort there out of the Hunts. They are sitting 9th and 10th now, as another driver has logged a lap time in front of them.
It has indeed. There's that coughing again. One we want to keep an eye on who just put a time in. Where did he go?
Something for that cough. I got a big old bottle of hooch if you need it.
I'm going to may need something before this race is over. I do apologize for that. Ryan Maines currently putting in his time. We're just looking at him, but we're just looking at the 29 of Mark Walls. He came out on the track and then abruptly stopped. So I'm not sure if he maybe forgot fuel, forgot to do something, but he went back to pit road. He's going to try it again. So we're going to keep an eye on him. He's also still one of the drivers that has already won a race this season here in this series. So he's going to be fast. We always know he's going to be fast anyway. But, something happened. Maybe he put too much fuel in. He didn't get his tape right or spun out. But something happened to cause him to go back to pit road and try it again.
Ryan Maines in the 17 machine, sponsored by Crunchyroll. If you need a good anime to watch, you can find it on Crunchyroll. The Ryan Maines on the clock here, coming around to take the first lap time of his. And Maines is going to jump up to the charts in 7th place with a 41.001. So almost breaking into that 42nd bracket. Missed it by a little, but here he is. Going to do it on lap 2. Be watching for this one to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, it definitely is. As you see now, Jeff Stabnow out on the track, another driver that's won this season. So it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out. We have a lot of very competitive drivers, and it looks like Jeff Stabnow is running a new paint job here as well in that Walls Beard Co. New leader Chevrolet tonight. A little more gray on that one than we're used to seeing. Usually it's a little more white, but he's kind of got an off-white, almost gray color to it tonight.
Yeah, and Mark Walls has put himself on the top of the charts. Steve Seelstad second, John Ottenbacher third, Matt Henry fourth. Trenton Barrington is rounding out your top 5 in qualifying here for now. These guys, all the top 5 have pulled behind the wall. They are done with qualifying, but David Applegate, he's out there. He's qualified 6th, and he's looking to improve his time.
He is indeed. As right as we switch to him, Jeff Stabnow took it to the top of the charts with a 40.629. So, he's going to get it loose there, though. He's going to take it for a little drift. Just shows you, though, how easy it's going to be to spin these trucks out here tonight, as he did so right there. Another one to keep an eye on, Cushman, who was just said keep an eye on him. He takes it to the top with a 40.477, so 1.5 or 0.152 over Jeff Stabnow. So that is a very fast time.
Yeah, Cushman laying down a heck of a lap. I mean, he found some afterburners somewhere. But I gotta tell you, man, the guys that can lay down a fast lap, I always wonder how their race setup is. So, you know, not to take anything away from Cushman here, laying down the epic qualifying lap, but makes you wonder, did he spend more time in qualifying versus race trim, or what? Because if you spend more time in qualifying than your race trim, I feel your time is a little bit misguided.
It really is, and just like that, you can adjust the fuel since it's open. These guys could have very well put in, 2 or 3 gallons, just enough to get them around the track, and tape that car up to like 98%, or even 100%. Probably won't go that far, but I'd say 90% tape at least, which is gonna give you outstanding laps times. On the flip side, 2 or 3 laps in, you're probably gonna blow the engine up. But it's qualifying. You don't really need it. You can just reset there. If they ever took that away to where if you blew it up in qualifying, you were done, you probably wouldn't see these guys do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of options that go into setting up a truck for qualifying versus race trim. So many different options, and you have to pick the one to focus on the most. And Cushman, though, I mean, I'm really impressed with this 40.447 or 477. Sorry, but man, makes me wonder if he didn't strap a JATO to the back of his truck.
He got something to it. As we're watching Chris Sherburne driving through the grass, I was beginning to wonder there for a minute he was going ahead and trying to park it in Victory Lane and call himself the winner. He's going to pull to the end of pit road there and pull it to a stop. He may be trying to actually go into the garage. I'm not sure, but he's going to park it right next to pit road. Carl Burke, though, is sitting on the end of pit road. He is yet to come out and run, so I'm not sure. He only has a minute 21. He barely would have time to get 1 lap in if he went out right now.
Yeah, not sure what Carl Burke's strategy is, as the time is really, really short for him. So I don't know if he wants to start from the back. We've seen it many times. Some of these drivers do like to start from the back of the race and then work their way to the front. And it makes you wonder what their end game is, whether they want to try and get the most points for passing cars, or what the deal is. But man, I gotta tell you, I'm not that disciplined. I want to qualify up front. I want to lead every lap. That's my best strategy. If I lead every lap, I'm bound to win.
This is true, and only 19 drivers actually took times here. So very interesting to see. We have a lot of drivers that have not, but quite a few drivers here tonight in general. So we got about 23 or so.
Yeah, we got quite the field tonight, and Carl Burke obviously out of time here to actually register a lap. So we took 19 drivers on time, Josh Cushman gonna be our fastest qualifier with a 40.477, almost 2/10 faster than second place.
And indeed it is. So that will do it, of course, for qualifying. Oh, and next up is the grid. We're going to just take a quick look and see who's all on it real fast. Looks like, again, 27 drivers is what we're going to have here tonight. So good times for everyone. But we'll see who comes out on top while they're getting onto the grid. KR, do you want to start us off, run through the top few? Say we'll go through about the top 10 rows, and I will go over the rest.
Yeah. All right. On pole is Josh Cushman with a 40.477, getting it done here, laying down a dominating qualifying lap. Jeff Stabnow in second. I don't win a whole lot. My name's Jeff with a 40.628. He's going to round out that front row on the outside. In row number 2, Mark Walls, part of the Walls Beard Co. Third place for him on his outside is Steve Steelstad in fourth. John Ottenbacher, my driver to watch for tonight. He's going to start fifth. Matt Henry starting on his outside in sixth. Chris White in seventh place. Inside row number 4, on the outside of him, Trenton Barrington in eighth. David Applegate on row 5 on the inside, 9th place. Andy Vogt starting 10th, row number 5 outside.
Excuse me. In row 6 is going to be Ryan Maines on the inside in 11th. 12th place is going to be William Fletcher. Row 7 is going to be Tom Green and Kip Leo. I look to see both of them move their way to the front here tonight. Row 8 is going to be Gary Nichols and Doug Hunt. Gary Nichols, again, starting 15th. I do look to see him definitely moving up throughout this race. Row 9 is going to be Jason Hunt and Chris Sherburne, both very good drivers. Again, also will probably work their way to the front. Row 10 is going to be Mona Lehman and Sean Breitzman. Breitzman did not take a time here in qualifying, but he is on the track, so we definitely are going to look to see him move through this field. He is definitely a very good driver here in this series in general. Row 11 is going to be Carl Burke and Ray Forner. Again, two drivers that didn't take times. Carl Burke, we've seen him be very fast, so I want to keep an eye on him as well. Row 12, Scott Hutchinson and Brandon Peters. Hutchinson is starting. Brandon Peters did not, and Brad Cornell is not going to start as well. But that was your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here for the Northwest Truck Series presented by Sanctuary Studios. And everybody is getting ready to get this thing started.
Could not be any more tense out here on the speedway. Josh Cushman on pole, Jeff Stabnow on his outside. These two are ready for it. Pace car pulls off. Here we go. Hold on to your hats. Strap in one more time. Pull them belts. Green flag in the air. Cushman underway. Stabnow on his outside. Everyone getting away nice and clean. Everyone's side by side still. Here we go. Diving off into turn 1.
Again, not the quickest start. You know, this isn't like some tracks where you just hit the gas and go. These trucks are going to take a minute to get up to speed, but we're doing a fantastic job of it already. Everybody 3 and 4 wide, just kind of snaking it throughout this field, trying to fill it out, fill the track out, fill the competition out, see where you want to be. As right now, we may see them make it 3 wide for the lead, as they're going to get really close and almost touch there for the lead. Josh Cushman and Mark Walls, they just about doored each other there going through the corner.
I gotta tell you, Mark Walls wants to lead this thing. He wants to lead every lap. He wants to win this race, and he's trying very hard to do it. But I gotta tell you, Josh Cushman says, no, you gotta get by me quickly. Yellow's flying already.
and I am not sure who it is for. There's nobody below 100 miles an hour right now, so very interesting that a caution comes out, as I do not see anybody off pace.
The 12 machine of Mona Lehman got a little sideways. Not sure if that's what the yellow was for, but Lehman had some contact with another truck and got sideways on the surface like a full-on 90 degrees. So not sure if that's what the issue was or not, but that's where I would be looking at.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We might not even go back and look at that one again. It wasn't too bad. I don't know. That was a very odd caution. Maybe if you look at the backside of that car, you might see a little bit of damage to the back of the car, but nothing major. Instead, just getting a little sideways. So, you know, you get that sideways with this many trucks out on the track. That probably is what brought the caution out. But, you know, definitely not really noteworthy of going back to a full replay here to, you know, to check it out, I wouldn't think. But you can see some slight damage to the back of the left of that truck.
Yeah, I went back, I watched the replay. Carl Burke, Mona Lehman made a little bit of contact here early on, but no contact with the wall, just a little bit of fender to fender. So we're going to reset, start all over, and let's fire them off. But Cushman's still out front, Stabnow second, and Walls is still third.
Indeed he is. Getting only 4 laps, or 3 laps completed. We're on lap 4 right now. So very quick caution coming out, but again, no major damage to any car, so everyone's on the lead lap. So we're gonna get ready here in about a lap or two, and we're gonna try this thing one more time.
So no one really gonna take tires. No one's gonna stop, pull down the pit road. We might see Carl Burke try and hammer out some of that damage. And I say that, but here comes some drivers down pit road. The 20 machine, the 49, the 53, and the 15. They're all coming down pit road. So here we go, folks.
Interesting there. Everyone came in taking, 15, 14 second time. So everyone definitely coming in, getting 4 tires and fuel. Very interesting here. Sean Breitzman. He spent a minute 10 on pit road. He's still on pit road right now. So wonder what happened to him to cause him to take such a long pit stop, as he's just now leaving the end of pit road.
Yeah, a lot of drivers coming down pit road. So what that tells me is there was a lot of beating and banging on the start of this race that we didn't happen to catch in the broadcast.
Indeed there was. These guys wanted to get some quick repairs done, get some damage beaten, get the hammers out and beat the fenders back out, whatever they need to do, as they're going to come out on the lead lap. We have 1 lap to go here, 1 to green. Next time by will be the green flag. As you see people out there swerving back and forth, getting those tires clean. These guys are ready to get back to racing, because that was probably the quickest caution we've seen in this series period.
Yeah, I had to go back through the video, and I saw the start of the race. Sean Breitzman got into some trouble in the initial start of the race, a big old accordion effect, and Breitzman caved in the front end of his car because of that.
Yeah, and that's never what you want to do, especially this early in the race. You don't want to have that damage. Luckily, it is early in the race. You have plenty of time to get in and get little bits fixed at a time and not take too much time on pit road and not have to use your fast repair. So, again, they don't have to use the fast repair now. They can save it for later when, you know, you could possibly be involved in something a lot worse.
For sure, it is definitely a strategy play as to when to use that quick repair. You take a gamble every time you use it as to whether or not you're going to be able to finish out the race. But at some point, your damage is so much, you have to do it. So, looks like a couple drivers have used the fast repair. Pace car pulling off. Here we go, Josh Cushman underway. Green flag in the air. Let's go racing one more time.
And this time I think we'll get more laps in here. That was kind of a quick caution, a very unpredictable caution here. But, you know, it does happen from time to time. As we're going to take a look back here. And so we got a battle going on. Jeff Stabnow and Steve Silstad. Steve Silstad, what a run for him. He has put together a huge run. As a caution is going to come out once again. And we'll take a look. Several cars getting involved, it looks like. We'll check in with 49 maybe getting involved.
02 of Trenton Barrington definitely involved in this last one. But we got a lot of cars sideways here.
Go back and take a look here and see what happened. There it is, the 02 getting, not sure if he got spun or not. Let's go back just a bit more here, see if we can figure out a little bit more here. Right off the restart, again, you're watching Trenton Barrington in the 02. We'll switch over to a different angle here, see if we can get a better shot of it. What happened to the 02 of Trenton Barrington? Oh, got below the apron there, just got it loose. And then the 77 of Tom Green had nowhere to go. The 28 getting involved, the 8 getting a piece of the action. So just kind of not really anybody's fault. The 2 just got it loose, and a lot of drivers having nowhere to go.
Yeah, a big stack up behind Trenton Barrington as he, like you said, just touched the apron. Caused him to have to lift to gather the car back up. And that was a high-speed part of the track. A lot of drivers going back into the full throttle. We're still early in this race, still early in these tire run, so a lot of grip by them. So they all rolled into the throttle full tilt. And when you roll into the throttle full tilt, you don't have a lot of options of backing out and checking up. So big pile up there because of what happened with Trenton getting a little loose.
Yeah, no surprise you got Gary Nichols in the 8 coming down the pit road. The 28 as well coming down pit road of William Fletcher. Those guys involved in that. So really no surprise there that those guys are going to come down and get that damage repaired. Probably get some fuel and tires while they're there. Again, no big surprise. But Josh Cushman out front right now. He has led all 7 laps so far. We have run 7 laps on lap 80 of 90 here in the race.
No, and Mark Walls sitting in 4th place. Steve Seelstad sitting in 3rd. Matt Henry 5th. And John Ottenbacher, the one I'm really rooting for tonight, he's sitting in 6th place. But I gotta tell you, Ottenbacher, I think he's just waiting. I think he's going to be the silent assassin tonight.
That probably would be a good assessment. He's running the New Way Toyota here tonight, or New Way Highway Toyota here tonight. No, I think he has a really good shot here. Like you said, kind of like a silent little ninja sitting back in the back. He's got a good shot at it. He's got a fast truck. Really, I would say your top 6 right now, top 7 for that matter. Cushman, Stabnow, Silstad, Walls, Henry, Ottenbacher, White. Those guys right there, and that is a very stacked top 5, even top 7.
Oh yeah, this field is heavily stacked. And I gotta tell you, this is gonna be exciting. Once we get some laps underway, once we get this race going, we're gonna see some of this talent poking through. We just have to, for whatever reason, some very weird yellows going on right now, but we gotta get through them, and then we'll see these drivers really start showing what they have, all the work that has gone into these truck setups.
We have indeed, and while we have it here, let's go back to Mark Walls in 4th place. Actually, no, we'll go back to the 35 of Chris White. He's actually running Western Digital, not SimStar Motorsports tonight. Why not, for the heck of it here, if we can get on board with him. Let's go on board with him for the restart here. Again, still running the SimStar Motorsports onboard camera tonight, just running Western Digital. So if you're looking for hard drives, you can definitely check him out for that. But kind of just run on his helmet cam here tonight and see, you know, kind of what it's like on a restart here.
Gotta wait, first of all, for the pace car to pull off. A Ford Mustang leading this field. And there it goes. It has to get repaired because it can't maintain pace. But Josh Cushman's going to say, hey, I got this. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Jeff Stabnow on his outside with a good run. And Cushman to the inside here at Auto Club Speedway.
Indeed, as again we're watching Chris White from Helmet Cam here. He's putting together a good run, and he's right there. He's trying to get by Matt Henry in the 19 just in front of him, as they're still too wide so far here. So very interesting to see how long they're going to keep it too wide here in this race. I don't see them kind of thinning out and go single file anytime soon, as we'll go back to our main camera here. A very good run. Look at them. They're almost 3 and 4 wide back here for about 4th, 5th position. So nobody giving an inch right now, as looks like we have about 80 laps to go. So we've completed 10 laps so far. Josh Cushman out front, but you know, Mark Walls is going to give him a run for his money. He's right there in striking distance, and now Jeff Stabnow, his teammates, right there. So you know they're going to kind of push each other and see if both of them can't get by Josh Cushman for the win and 2nd place.
I gotta tell you, Ottenbacher sitting 4th. This is the one I'm watching all night tonight. But he's under heavy pressure from Matt Henry in the 19 machine. But, however, neither one of us picked it. Chris White is in 6th in that 35 truck. And I gotta tell you, he is always a threat when he is on track.
He is indeed. And you notice they've kind of singled out for the first 6. Or really 5. Then you have Chris White and Steve Silstad battling right now for 6th position, and they're kind of leading the pack here for this second group. They've kind of split off into 2 different groups, as it looks like Steve Silstad is actually going to get by Chris White and to take 6th place from him. So Chris White now going the opposite direction he needs to go. He was moving forward. He is now moving the opposite direction, as Ryan Maines in the 17 is looking to get by him as well.
Mark Walls all over the backside of Josh Cushman, diving to the inside here, unable to make the pass just yet, but putting heavy pressure on Cushman. Thought he was going to have it there, but not just yet. But here we go. Down the backstretch, looking to the inside goes Mark Walls.
Is indeed Chevrolet power versus Toyota power drag racing down the backstretch, coming out of the corner. Not sure this is turn 4 they're coming out of, and it looks like it may be Mark Walls. He's out front as a caution comes out. It's going to be interesting to see who they score for the lead, but it looks like the caution may be for the 12 here of Mona Leham.
We got a lot of drivers spinning through the infield. Chris Sherburne, Mona Leham. A lot of stuff going on right now.
We'll see here. Oh, looked like the 12 got into the 91 of Hutchinson. Spinning them both around. Sherburne going around just trying to avoid all of it. Ends up wrecking anyway. Like you said, a lot of cars going around there to bring out our 3rd caution of the night for 7 laps. Still 77 laps to go here. But we were talking about getting a word in with Mark Walls. I don't think they're going to come in and pit yet. We'll see if they're going to pit. If they don't go into pit road, we'll see if we can't get a quick word in with Mark Walls. But I don't think anybody's going to pit yet on lap 14. But I, again, am sometimes wrong, and apparently I am. Everybody coming down pit road.
A lot of drivers down pit road, including all of them on the lead lap.
Indeed, the only one staying out. Somebody didn't come in. It looks like Andy. No, it wasn't Andy Vogt. Somebody did not go in, but they may have been a lap car. It was Carl Burke. So he's going to get his lap back. But we'll get ready here. As soon as Mark Walls comes out of pit road, we'll see if we can't get a quick word in with him. But getting everybody getting some fresh rubber and some fresh fuel in those cars or trucks here, as it's going to be a close battle. But I think Cushman's going to win the battle off pit road.
Cushman won the battle off pit road based off of that qualifying position. He qualified the best. He got that front pit stall, and he beat Mark Walls out by just a little bit. So good job on Josh Cushman's pit crew getting him out there just a little bit ahead.
Indeed. And if you want to grab Mark Walls, we'll get a quick word in with him real fast.
Mark Walls, KR and Charles up here in the booth. You got your ears on, bud?
10-4.
Well, we don't want to keep you too long here. We're probably getting ready to get the green flag here in just a minute. But KR had a quick question for you while we have you here in the booth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Mark, I got to tell you, I'm a fan of the beard. I typically grow a beard, but I never use products. Can you tell me a little bit about the Mark Walls products that you have?
Yeah, so what we got is an all-natural organic beard balm. So if you're looking to basically put nutrients back in that hair, help thicken it up, help grow, keeping it looking good and under control, that's what our product does. Amazing stuff. I don't go a day without it.
Oh, I would have to. Go ahead, Kara.
I look forward to using it. I typically trim up a little bit for the summertime, but do you have a winter specific and a warm weather, cold weather type situation?
Yeah, so in the winter time we got a cedar wood and a teak wood, something that's going to be the outdoor scent. And then when we get into summer and spring, we got the vanillas, the more natural scented.
All right, well, man, I gotta tell you, I will be at Walls Beard Co. here momentarily to purchase some of the spring summer scents. I look forward to it, and gotta tell you, good luck in the race.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining us in the booth. Anything that can keep KR under control, that's a good thing. So we'll have to get KR some of that. We'll get you back to your team there, though. But again, that was a quick little interview there with Mark Walls, who is currently sitting in second place right now, running the new leader onboard camera here with us tonight. Just getting a quick word in with him. But this time by, we're going to get the one to green.
Yes, definitely want to thank all the drivers who tolerate me and my insanity. Charles, you're doing a great job tonight, but Mark Walls sitting in second got beat off pit road by Josh Cushman. Cushman, no stranger to sitting on the pole tonight. He's led every single restart we've had, and he managed to find a way to do it once again.
He did indeed. Then Mark Walls did get credited with 2 laps led. He was the leader, but just pit strategy got him 14.9 for Josh, 15.2 for Mark Walls. So they both took 4 tires. So that was a difference in fuel, how much fuel they took. So obviously Mark Walls will probably be able to stay out maybe one more lap compared to Josh Cushman. But at the rate we're going, I don't think that's really going to be a matter of a fact here. They're probably going to be pitting for tires anyway, and they're probably going to be under caution.
Down the backstretch, the field is coming. We are getting ready to go green. I gotta tell you, I'd be a little concerned if I was Josh Cushman. I got Jeff Stabnow in the 24 machine right behind me. Behind Stabnow is the 89 machine of John Ottenbacher. Man, I'd be sweating my sweating some bullets here on this restart.
Yeah, you definitely. You have to be careful anytime you have Jeff Stabnow behind you. He's very quick. Well, we like to give him a hard time. He says he doesn't win, but you don't have to win to be a champion, as he's in second place right now, only 2 points out to his teammate Mark Walls. And that could very well change as the green flag does come out once again. And Josh Cushman's going to lead him to start lap number 18.
Cushman leading it, but here we go. Stabnow looking to the inside of Mark Walls. Unable to do it. Walls holding on to second. Now he's going to challenge Cushman to the outside.
He is indeed, and that's going to be a drag race to the front, but it looks like your new leader is going to be Mark Walls taking the lead. Very interesting because he is running new leader, and he is your new leader here in the race as we got the 24 going around.
Now sideways, 17, Ryan Man, or sorry, the 17 and 19. Holy cow, big time trouble.
That was a huge wreck involving a lot of cars. And it looked like the 24 just got loose of Jeff Stabnow. So let's go back and take a quick look at that.
Collected the 17 of Ryan Mans. Jeff Stabnow getting sideways, coming out of turn 4. Big time trouble.
Indeed. There he goes. Gets loose, collects the 17, the 19, and several cars. The 19 just went for a huge flip. It looks like maybe Andy Vogt got involved as well in the 10. But I believe it was a 19 that went for a wild ride. Let's go back and look just at the 19 real fast. Again, the 19 of Matt Henry. I think he got the worst end of the deal here as we'll watch. He hits the outside wall, gets hit by Andy Vogt in the 10, and just goes flipping through the infield, hitting the inside wall as well. So that was a violent ride for the 19 of Matt Henry.
Matt Henry's truck is wadded up in all 4 corners. He is smoking. He is spraying for mosquitoes. But I do not believe he has used his quick repair yet. So he's got a good shot at getting this fixed and getting back out there.
Yeah, the only downside I see for Matt Henry is we'll take a look here on pit road. He's been there 40 seconds on pit road. He had to tow, so he's going to go more than 1 lap down. He's already a lap down because it's about a 2-minute tow if you cannot drive it back to pit road. So he's going to go multiple laps down. So it's just gonna hope for some cautions, get that fast repair, and get out there and try to get some more laps in and salvage a good points tonight.
Yeah, Matt Henry definitely struggling here, but man, that's something you don't see very often from Jeff Stabnow as he got loose coming out of the corner. But I say not very often, but we saw him do it at Phoenix on the lead opening lap. He got loose coming out of turn 4. Here he is again getting loose coming out of turn 4 on a restart. So it caused a big pileup, but you know what? Hit that reset button, drivers. Gather yourselves in. Let's go racing one more time.
Indeed, as he's going to be back to 18th now. So that is well off where he wants to be, I'm sure. As we're sitting here kind of riding with him at the moment. He's also running a new leader onboard camera tonight, so we got a new leader car up in the front of Mark Walls, who is your leader, and his teammate back in 16th now, as that was not the kind of spin he wanted. But like you said, he can still rebound early in this race, so he still has a a good shot of rebounding here, as he's still on the lead lap. And looking at it now at our cautions, we've only had 4 cautions, 13 laps, so we still have 70 laps to go. So he has plenty of time to get back up to the front.
Yeah, we're still in the early stages of this race, but I got to tell you, Mark Walls out front, Josh Cushman in second. Man, oh man, you give Mark Walls a scent of the lead, and he is going to consume it. So Cushman needs to figure out what he has to do on this restart to put Mark Walls behind him.
Yeah, and this could be his big shot to do it. Once you let someone like that, I'm not saying Josh Cushman is not fast. He's very fast. He's obviously led 15 laps here. But somebody like Mark Walls, even John Ottenbacher, if he gets by him, those are 2 very fast cars, very fast drivers. You do not want them out in clean air, because if they get out in that clean air is like gold to these trucks, and it helps a ton, and he could very well pull away.
Very well could, but I gotta tell you, man, we haven't seen too many long stretches of green flag runs, so anything could happen. if we get into a long green flag run, and man, it's just so tough when we have all these short runs that we've been having.
Indeed it is. And that's another thing you're going to have to watch for tonight is, you know, these drivers can change their setups. They may change their setup for a short track run or a short run just to get that, not speed, but acceleration. Get out of the gate, get ahead, and just hang on till the caution comes out. Then you keep doing that cycle over and over again, and you could win this race.
I think one of the keys to winning this race is going to be pit strategy, but on top of that, it's going to be keeping your nose clean, being out front, and it's going to come down to some of these fast guys who are out there week after week, time and again, putting in the work to get this setup just right. And I've got to tell you, Josh Cushman, John Ottenbacher, Mark Walls, these guys are the ones to watch right now.
They are indeed. No, like I said, nobody knows who's going to win this race. It's called racing for a reason. It's difficult. It's hard to predict, and we could see another caution in 2 laps, 3 laps, or we could see this thing go green the rest of the way. It's really all up in the air. But right there, pace car is diving off and should be right about now. There it is. Green flag is out once again. This time, Mark Walls is going to lead them to it and start lap number 23.
Mark Walls with a good start there. The 89, John Ottenbacher, my driver to watch tonight, sitting in second place. Here he is. He's stalking the leader, but Josh Cushman on his inside. Cushman, our pole sitter, our quick time qualifier, is not happy about being in third, but I gotta tell you, he ain't gonna be there much longer. This guy wants to lead every lap.
He does indeed. He wants to lead. I believe, again, if you get a bonus point for leading most laps, everyone wants to lead at least one to get that bonus point, but you also want to lead as many laps as you can. So that's what they're doing right now. Is you look a little further back here, back to about Dan Stuzzi in 7th place. These guys are really getting it 3 and 4 wide, putting on a huge battle.
Huge battle going on, as you mentioned, but I gotta tell you, down the backstretch, you can see there are so many lanes on this track. The drivers pick and choose where they want to run, but when it comes time to sort it out on the straightaways, they all find a little bit of a spot to run, and it's really cool seeing them all file in.
It really is. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice here tonight. Apologize for that. Yeah, they all really get all over the place. Again, we refer to it as like ants. When you step on an ant bed, these guys scatter on the restarts, and then, you know, come a lap or two, they kind of cycle back in to get into a little group. Except for back here towards the pack, we got Jeff Stabnow, Chris White back here. Those guys are still weaving and back and forth, trying to decide where they want to go and who's the person they want to be behind to help them go to the front.
Oh, we got several cars 3 wide, 2 wide. I'm watching right now. Ray Forner in the 26 machine had a couple cars in front of him going 3 wide coming out of turn 4. That kind of makes you a little nervous seeing all these cars running that close to each other here. But you got to do what you do, and Ray Forner holding on to 6th place right now.
Yeah, it's just so crazy out there. This track is, it's not the tricky triangle, but it's very tricky regardless. It's a very wide, so you can go 3-4 wide at points, but that doesn't necessarily mean you probably should, as that tends to lead to cautions here. But these guys, again, just all over the place, searching for any grip they can have. As these guys, some of them 12 to 16 laps on their tires, and we talked to Jeff, or no, it was Mark earlier that said about 20 laps, and these tires are starting to fall off. So we've already seen them 40.8 is their fastest lap, for Mark Walls. 41.4 is what he's running out, so these tires are already starting to fall off and lose some of their grip. So I would think we're going to see these guys kind of single file and just focus on slowly passing people here and not try to press as many issues now into the run.
Looking at Carl Burke, the 53 truck, sitting in 8th place. He did not take a qualifying time. Here he is all the way up inside the top 10, doing what he can. He was one of the drivers that was involved in our first caution. But I got to tell you, man, this guy's looking good each and every lap.
Yeah, he definitely is. And somebody we haven't talked about, we want to go back to him right now, as he is running the highway onboard camera here tonight. That is Sean Breitzman. He's sitting, I believe, like 4th or 5th in points. But he is well in the back of this field right now, back in 16th. He didn't qualify, and I really kind of figured by now he would be a little further up. But he is struggling to get through this field right now, as we're seeing a lot of guys that we would normally see up front back here in the back, him included. We know Jeff Stabnow spun out on his own. Chris Sherburne, Andy Vogt back there, Applegate, Chris White. These guys back here, we do not normally see them this far back in the field.
No, Breitzman got into some trouble early because he didn't qualify. That accordion effect that happened, we saw a lot of drivers take to pit road. I went back and reviewed it. Breitzman was a victim to the accordion effect on our very first start, and had suffered major damage. And here he is, used a fast repair, and he's sitting 13th, now 12th, looking to make a move here as he goes 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, and these guys will find every inch of track here. Is look at them, they're all the way almost 6 wide on the backstretch here, all the way back to the 17 of Ryan Maines. These guys are literally finding every inch of real estate they can. As we'll go back up to the leaders here, the front two have kind of pulled away. 0.1 separate Walls and Cushman. Then you have 1.4 seconds separating second and third. So, you know, those front two have really pulled away from the rest of this field.
Yeah, the front two, Mark Walls, Josh Cushman, Steve Seelstad still holding on to 3rd place. Don Ottenbacher in 4th. My pick for tonight, he's not letting me down. I said he's going to win or finish in the top 5. He's in 4th place and doing a great job tonight. And then Kip Leo, someone we haven't talked a whole lot about. He's sitting in 5th place. And Scott Hutchinson, one of the drivers who we watch practice but chooses to bow out because of his internet. Here he is. He's having a good internet night, and this guy's running 6th place.
Yeah, definitely he's one. You know, if his internet's running good, so is he. And he is putting on a heck of a show. We may see him in the top 3 here a little bit.
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, Scott Hutchinson, this guy puts in a lot of practice. He loves this league, but when it comes down to it, he decides each and every race whether he can join because of his internet. And tonight, here he is. He's joined the race, and he's sitting in 6th place. Man, I love this guy because he does what he can with what he's got. And when he's got it, man, I'll tell you what, he is solid driver.
He is indeed. As these guys are kind of spreading out at the moment, so we are getting a good set of run here as we're probably clear, getting ready here to get some green flag stops. We'll see. We've been going green for just a minute. We'll step away here. Let's go crank it up for just a minute. I know they're kind of spread out, but we're going to go crank it up style. We got a good battle for the lead, so we'll focus on them here for the crank it up and see if we have a lead change. Alright, we are back here. Again, a little bit of cranking up there. Going caution free here for the last 21 laps. This is going to be interesting. We've kind of got into a groove now. As those front two, 2.4 seconds ahead of third place right now. These guys are putting together a huge lead over third place right now. You have Steve Silstad. It's a huge run for these guys. So we'll see if they can hang on to it. I don't know how much longer those tires are going to last here, as they are into the point right now where they're starting to wear off.
Mike Peterson in the 14 machine. He is on some of the fresher tires. Sean Breitzman, also one of those guys on fresher tires. He's sitting in 7th place. Chris White right behind him in 8th. And I got to tell you, it's Chris White gets a little sideways there coming out of the corner. Has to check up, gets into the wall there. Give him a little bit of a stripe on the right side.
Yes, he is earning his stripes here tonight, as we saw some sparks flying off of that truck. Look who's right behind him, Jeff Stabnow. Again, self-spin, collected a bunch of cars. He definitely used his fast repair, but he's in the 10th position in the top 10 right now, trying to come back to the front of this field and see if he can't get a win here tonight.
No, I gotta tell you, Cushman in 2nd, Walls in 1st, Ottenbacher in 3rd. Man, oh man, I'll tell you, this is some of the best racing I've seen out of this series. We've really mixed the field up with some drivers who we don't talk a whole lot about, but we also have a good mix of drivers who we do talk about.
Indeed, we have Mark Walls, Cushman, Ottenbacher, Silstad, Breitzman, Hutchinson. Hutchinson being the big one here. You know, the thing with Scott Hutchinson is, it's not necessarily that we don't talk about him because he's not up at the front. It's because he don't normally run. But when he does, like we were just talking about, when he does choose to run or has internet to run, he's a very quick. If he had consistent internet and was here every week, he very well could, be up there in the top with these guys running for the championship.
Yeah, Scott Hutchinson, man, I wish we could see this guy week in, week out, because when he does decide to run, he is up front. But he's currently running 6th. Kip Leo 7th. Jeff Stabnow in 8th, making a good recovery here, trying to regain everything. And also, man, I got to tell you, the 19 machine of Matt Henry, he's a couple laps down, but here he is mixing it up with these guys.
He is indeed 2 laps down and back in 23rd. But you wouldn't know it by the way he's racing right now. And again, he used his fast repair. But the only reason he is a lap down, not because he's that slow, it's because he had to tow. And again, that tow takes about 2 to 2.5 minutes. And it's weird. You would think if it was under caution, it would take less time. But under caution, the tow period actually takes longer. So, in my opinion, that's a little backwards. You know, the track's clear, you should be able to tow a little faster. But that is not how it is on iRacing, as he had to tow, and he is now 2 laps down. But again, if we get a caution, he can stay out and get one of his laps back, and then come in and pit later. He could definitely be back on the lead lap again before you notice. Him and the 78 are going to touch there a little bit. Again, the 78, Dan Stuzzi, those two are on different laps, but they do make a little bit of contact, but Dan Stuzzi will get by him.
Yeah, Stuzzi making the pass here. And I got to tell you, we saw Ryan Manns in trouble earlier. Ryan Manns in that Crunchyroll anime. I got to tell you, if you want to talk about some anime, apparently you need to talk to Ryan Manns running this Crunchyroll 17 machine tonight. But we saw him get all crossed up, got into some trouble with Jeff Stabnow as well. But here he is. He's still in 13th, and he hasn't given up tonight.
He has not. And again, we talked about Jeff Stabnow not giving up. It seems like about every other lap he's gaining a couple of positions. He went from 10th to 8th to 6th in a matter of 2 laps. So that truck has got some rocket power behind it. So definitely that Walls Beard Co. new leader Chevrolet has got something under the hood that is just outstanding here tonight, as he is booking it to get to the front. And keep it in mind, too, he's only got 23 laps in his tires. Everyone ahead of him, with the exception of Sean Brightsman, has 28 or more laps on their tires. So he's got not super fresh tires, but a difference of about 5 to 6 laps on his tires. And, you know, that is still quite a bit when you're talking 20 laps and they're bad. So 6 laps fresher, that's quite a bit of rubber left on those tires compared to the people in front of him.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, here at Auto Club Speedway, the fact that these guys haven't lost it coming out of the corners yet, because this track is notorious for that. They're doing a great job. Everyone is doing a superb bit of driving. And talking about some superb driving, Mark Walls, man, he is just out there getting it done. Has a huge lead, almost 4 seconds over Josh Cushman.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Josh Cushman to do that. Or, again, you talk about Jeff Stabnow, something under the hood. Those guys work tirelessly to get these cars as fast as they are. Those are teammates. So, you know, it's going to be kind of curious to see here if Jeff Stabnow can catch up to his teammate in the lead, again, Mark Walls. Those two are probably running about the same setup here. So if Stabnow can possibly get back to second place, can he run down his teammate in the first, or in first right now? It's really up in the air at this point.
Ottenbacher making a move on Cushman, so score Ottenbacher in second. I told you guys I only needed a brief second to watch Ottenbacher, but here he is in second place. This is my pick. Very proud of this guy. Week in, week out, always a solid driver. And here he is in second place as we are currently on lap 46 of 90. Just at halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Halfway done here. Again, taking a look at the cautions real fast. We've only had 4 cautions. 14 laps. We still have 44 to go. So we are over halfway now. As again, Ottenbacher trying to run down. We're going to keep an eye on that lap there. 4.583 seconds behind your leader, Mark Walls, is 4.699. So he did manage to get by Josh Cushman for second, but he's still not being able to run down the leader. Nobody has been able to run him down. So you know right about now he's hoping this thing goes green and doesn't have a caution. Because there's a caution, everybody's going to bunch back up. Everybody's going to come in, get fresh tires. And we've seen already once he did not have a faster pit stop. So he definitely doesn't want to lose the lead on pit road.
I got to tell you, man, I don't think anyone can make it to the checkered from here. So we're going to see at least one more pit stop. We're going to see these guys pit for tires, for fuel, whatever it takes to get to the end. But it does feel like we're going to have a little bit of a long stretch here as no one is really super close. I'm looking at Scott Hutchinson and the 91 machine battling with Chris White. These guys are pretty close to each other. But in front of Chris White is Steve Seelstad, and there's a 5-second difference.
Yeah, there's a huge lead between those two, as there's kind of starting to be little groups here as different groups are spreading out. You got like first way out front, and you got second and third, then fourth, fifth, sixth. They're just really spread out. And you know, if we're coming up on green flag stops with 5.1 seconds lead over Ottenbacher, you definitely know Mark Walls is like, let's run this out green. I have a huge lead, and that's what he needs if he wants to maintain this race lead after everything cycles back out. So he is definitely looking forward to that. Is Ottenbacher's in second, Sean Brightsman in third now, as Brightsman also got by Cushman.
Yeah, Cushman falling to the back here a little bit. Brightsman doing a great job so far. He's maintained his tires. He's got some fresher tires than the guys around him, but not by a whole lot. But Brightsman, one of those guys you have to keep an eye on. But really want to touch base with the Hunt team, Jason Hunt and Doug Hunt. Jason Hunt sitting in 11th place, just outside the top 10, really looking to make a move on Ryan Maines, but he's got to get there first.
He does indeed. Doug Hunt sitting back in 18th, so a little bit further back. I believe he may have got tangled up in the mess earlier in the race with Jeff Stabnow, so he has not recovered as well as Stabnow has. But again, we're closing in over halfway, and soon this race will be wrapping up, as it looks like we will go green flag the rest of the way. So I'm really curious. These guys, we were told, obviously, 20 laps and your tires are shot. They're on 37 laps on these tires for your leader. So those tires have got to be total junk right now, as they're running 42.3s. Their fastest is a 40.8, so they're nearly 3 seconds off their fastest time. Almost a little, let's say, almost 2 seconds really. So they really want some fresh tires right now. So the question is, when will they start their pit stops?
Yeah, I can't tell you what their fuel load is, but I do know we are on lap 52 now, lap 53, as Mark Walls crosses the start-finish line, and we have to go a distance of 90 laps, so these guys cannot make it on fuel. We have to see at least one more pit stop, and the drop-off is huge. So if we see a caution, we're going to see everyone will come to pit road, as I got one super slow here. Carl Burke coming to pit road. He is on pit road right now, the 53 machine of Carl Burke on pit road.
As he is on the lead lap, he won't be for much longer, as he's going to be the first one to come down pit road. Again, he's hit within the window here for tires. Not sure on fuel. We now at this point, they've got to be coming in for fuel and tires. So if he's going to come in, everyone's going to have to start coming in to kind of see. You don't want to be stranded out there. He's got 0 laps on those tires now, so he is going to be really fast compared to the rest of these guys. So I expect to see more come in, as it looks like Dan Stuzzi is going to come in. Tom Green is going to come in as well for their green flag pit stops.
So it looks like green flag pit stops are underway. A couple drivers who have already pitted. Mike Peterson also on pit road and off. He's done it for a little bit. He's scored 1 lap down, but he's going to make up a lot of time with those fresh tires. His last lap time was a 41.847 compared to the leader of a 42.601.
Yes, indeed. As Steve Silstad is going to come down to pit road now, and he is going to get some fuel and tires as well. As we have more drivers, Gary Nichols coming down pit road as well. So a lot of drivers starting to cycle in now. The question is, when will your leaders come in? If these guys can hang in there and get a caution, that would be ideal for them. But you can't hang out there too long. You said, if you hang out there on these old tires, they are going to eat you alive with those fresh tires as far as times go.
Yeah, fresh tires. You want to be one of the first ones to pick them up, but you don't want to do it too early because you might get caught a lap down. This is all a big gamble right now. Everything has just been thrown up in the air. We have to see how it plays out, but Mark Walls out front doing a great job here leading this race. When will he pit? When does he feel it is necessary to pit? He might want to try and hold out so that he has the freshest tires for the shortest amount of time. He had a great lead, so he could get it done very easily.
Yeah, Jason Hunt just went to pit road, as now they're starting to come in. Sean Brightsman's going to bring it down to pit road as well. Jeff Stabnow's coming with him. Again, those two working together for sure. So 2 coming down pit road. Question is, Mark Walls, John Ottenbacher, and Josh Cushman still out on the track. Chris White is going to take 5th place now, as he has not come to pit road. He has come down 3 times, so he did pit earlier, but only for 5.1 seconds. So he may have even more tires as Mark Walls is going to come down to pit road and get some fresh fuel and tires.
Yeah, Mark Walls finally hitting pit road. He's coming for those tires, getting some fuel. This might be his final pit stop as green flag pit stops are fully underway. And a big shout out to Iowa Farmer. Thank you very much.
Oh, definitely thanks for the tip. As it looks like more drivers coming in. Cushman is in as well. So far, you have your top three. John Ottenbacher, Steve Hutchinson, and Ryan Maines have not come in. Ray Fortner in 4th place right now. He has not come in. William Fletcher in 5th has not come in as well. So a lot of drivers not coming in as right there. Ottenbacher will bring it in and come in and get some fresh tires. And look who is going to lead the race for the first time, Scott Hutchinson.
Scott Hutchinson hasn't pitted yet. He's on the older tires. John Ottenbacher pitted 1 lap behind Mark Walls, so we're going to see how that plays out. But Hutchinson, he's really staying out there. He's really hoping for a yellow at this point. And we're going to have to see how this plays out. All these strategies could be thrown up in the air with just one caution. And it's going to leave many drivers banging their head on the wall if that's what happens.
It is indeed. As we knew he was fast, and he's using strategy for his advantage here. He has not actually led a lap yet, but he is out front here. He's leading. He's got a minute 10 gap over second place of Ray Fortner right now, who has not pitted as well. So right there, for the first time, he will lead his first lap here in this race and here in this series as well. At 26 seconds over second place right now.
Yeah, Scott Hutchinson holding on with some older tires. We got a couple drivers also out there on older tires, but Mark Walls on freshest tires. He is leading the charge for these guys on fresh tires. Sean Breitzman sitting in second in comparison to everyone on these fresh tires.
He is indeed. Another one, Chris Sherburne has not pitted yet. 45 laps on those tires. So it makes you wonder, can you make it on fuel? I don't think they can. These guys are out there with strategies, as now Scott Hutchinson is going to come down road. He just wanted to lead a lap, and he did so, as that will turn the lead over to Ray Fortner, who has now led 1 lap too. So bonus points are being given out quite well right now, as everybody able to get out there and lead a lap. And I would be willing to bet we'll see Ray Fortner come in pretty soon, as he's going to dive it to the bottom there. That would give the lead to William Fletcher, another person that has not led a lap here this race or in this series, but he may get a chance to do that here in this race.
Yeah, I don't see how you can make it from here on the set of tires you have and the fuel you have. Everyone's going to have to come down pit road. Mark Walls now has reassumed the lead, reacquired. Listen, I'm not big on the verbiage or the grasp of the English language. You know what? I'm going to shut up.
He has regained the lead. We'll go with that one for you. But he has definitely retaken the lead here. So he's already led 41 laps, so he's going to lead more than that. And if he can get out there for at least 10 more laps or so, I think he'll lead the most laps. Nobody's going to be able to pass him. Sean Breitzman, though, second place right now, didn't even qualify. He is doing outstanding for someone who didn't even take a lap in qualifying. He was in the back most of the early half of this race, but he has come to life here at the last half of this race.
Yeah, Breitzman, always one of the ones that we watch. This guy is a talented driver, has a lot of speed in each and every setup that he brings to the track. But here he is in second place. Mark Walls leading it, and John Ottenbacher holding tough, man. I'm rooting for this guy. The 89 machine part of that Highway Walls Beard Co. team. Here he is in 3rd place. I don't think I can count this guy out just yet. And in fact, I'm willing to bet he's going to pull a ace of spades out of his sleeves. He's going to win this thing.
He very well could. 27 laps to go is all that remains here in the race. Again, so we are definitely well over the halfway point at this point in the race. Another one that I see up front, Carl Burke in the number 53, 7th place right now. He is doing a fantastic job of being in the top 10. Jeff Stabnow, 4th place. He very well could get John Ottenbacher. He is within striking distance of him right now. So, yeah, I really think Jeff Stabnow may get by Ottenbacher. I don't know. Ottenbacher very fast here tonight as well. But again, Jeff Stabnow came from the back of the field to get to the front, so he's got a very fast truck here. But again, I just don't know. Ottenbacher has a very fast truck as well.
Now, you keep saying that. I think you might be trying to move in on my pick tonight, and I'm just not going to allow it.
Now, you can have Ottenbacher. I may steal him if he wins. But in those two, if it comes down to a 3rd place finish between them two, it could be a very good battle. It may be a drag race to the end.
It very well could be, and I gotta tell you, man, it's always a pleasure watching some talented drivers work their craft, work their magic, whatever you want to call it. And John Ottenbacher sitting in 3rd, Stabnow 4th. Josh Cushman has fallen back to 5th, but don't let that discourage you, because this guy, he'll find a way to make his way back up to the front here. But all eyes on Mark Walls leading this race right now, and he's got a 2.8 second lead over Sean Breitzman.
He does indeed, as we're closing up here, coming up on lap 70 here in the next 3 laps. So that will be 20 laps to go. That is it. That is about 24 laps is all that remains here in the race. Oh, I really, at this point, don't know who's going to win. You look at the top 5 right now, as we'll pop it up there for you. It is Mark Walls, Sean Breitzman, John Ottenbacher, Jeff Stabnow, Josh Cushman in the top 5. You literally could not have a more stacked top 5 right now. It is just crazy how powerful, how fast those top 5 are right now. And even more exciting on the racing side of things here on MaxSpeedTV, all 5 drivers have submitted race photos. So, you know, it just looks cool when they submit these photos, and it definitely looks cool for them to go back and watch it.
Yeah, we here at MaxSpeedTV, we really do want to try and give everyone the best experience that is participating in these races, not just the people who are watching them. And it's all about the thrill factor, and if everyone can get their face out on the YouTubes, on the interwebs, man, we're all about it here at MaxSpeedTV.
Yes, definitely, and these drivers love getting it out there. You see right there, if you look at your top 3 drivers, it's hard for y'all to see out there. He definitely has. They all 3 have the same hat on for the sponsor new leader. So big shout out to the sponsors, of course, Highway New Leader and Sanctuary Studios. All of them coming on board to make all this possible. That's why we're able to be here. And it looks like we have Rudy in the chat with us here tonight, having a little fun at our expense. But, you know, we'll get him back eventually. I may just go steal all his ice cream.
Oh, don't steal his ice cream, man. That'll put Rudy in a bad mood. But, you know, one thing I just got to mention is this is some great racing here out of this Northwest Truck Series, Sanctuary Studios backed series. And I actually love what we're seeing here. Is we're getting into the final stages. We're on lap 70 right now of 90. We're coming into the final stages of it. Everyone's made pit stops. We could run this out to the end if we can make it. And here we go. It's all about driver skill right now.
It is indeed. It's right there. 20 to go. That's all that remains here in the race. 20 laps to go. Mark Walls 2.883 seconds ahead of second place, and 7.5 seconds ahead of third place. So, that truck is just on rails tonight, as he is probably, if nothing happens, gonna put it into victory lane. When this ends, they'll have about 34 laps on those tires, so they are gonna be really loose and really squirmy by the time they get to the end of the race. So everyone is gonna have to be hanging on for dear life in these closing laps.
Some familiar names still up front. Mark Walls leading it. Sean Breitzman second. John Ottenbacher third. Jeff Stabnow fourth. And rounding out your top 5 is Josh Cushman. And I gotta tell you, Mark Walls having almost a 3-second lead over Sean Breitzman. It makes you wonder, what can Breitzman do? Can he find any sort of speed to close the gap here? Has Mark Walls used up his tires? Does he have enough left to make it to the end of this thing if it goes green the rest of the way?
It's going to be very interesting here, as it looks like we see one down on the inside of the track. Just came out of pit road. Was on there for about 7.5 minutes. That is Gary Nichols. He's rejoining the field here, 12 laps down. So a big shout out to him. Again, several laps down, but he's coming back, and he is going to try to get every position he can. But every car that started the race, with the exception of the 12 of Mona Lehman, is on the track right now. So I don't think Gary Nichols is going to gain any positions unless something drastic happens. But then again, it could. We have not seen a terribly big wreck today, so if that was to happen, Gary Nichols may gain a few spots.
We like to give Jeff Stabnow a little bit of a hard time. He's one of the league admins. We get to deal with him personally, so we feel a little close connection to him. So when he goes and reviews this race and he sees what happened to him coming out of the corner here early stages of the race, we got to make sure we call him out on it, give him a hard time, rib him in the ribs a little bit. But he's made a great recovery sitting in 4th place.
He has indeed. He's got his eyes set on Ottenbacher. I really kind of figured as quickly as he came back through the field, he would probably already be by John Ottenbacher, or at least a lot closer than he is. He's still got about 3 to 3.5, maybe 4 car lengths between them. But it really seems like he got his way, made his way back up to the top 4, and he hit those top 3 cars and kind of hit a brick wall, per se. As when it came, those guys behind him were pretty easy to pass, but these guys in front of them, they're evenly matched, and they are pulling away and staying right at the same distance from him, so he is not able to get by them near as easily as he was the people behind him.
No, and one of the drivers, we talked about him all night tonight. Very proud of the race that he's doing here. John Ottenbacher said he's going to win it, finish in the top 5. This guy has not left the top 5 all night. Here he is sitting in 3rd place. Jeff Stabnow stalking him. But Ottenbacher at the same time, he's waiting for Sean Breitzman maybe to make a mistake.
He is indeed. Breitzman, not the kind of driver that's going to make too many mistakes here in the race. But he looks like he has a little bit of damage to the front of that truck. But again, with racing, you could possibly make a mistake, especially when you have 20 plus laps on these tires. Right now, 20 laps on these tires. This is the danger zone for all these drivers with 14 to go here in the race. Those tires are starting to wear off. They're getting a little slick out there. They don't have as much grip as they had. So you kind of got to baby it. You don't want to press the issue too much here. as we saw earlier, with only about 10 laps on the tires, we saw Mark Walls, Jeff Stabnow go around when he tried to pass the one on the outside. So, you know, imagine you amplify that to double, almost triple the laps. You don't want to press anything, or it could spell disaster for you and other people behind you.
It for sure could, and we are really getting into crunch time here in the final stages of this race. You know, Mark Walls sitting on lap 78, coming around to start lap 79. We're only doing 90 laps here, so it is in crunch time. If you have anything left of your car or truck, your tires, whatever, burn them up now. You've got to find a way to catch up to Mark. And all that being said, Marcus still have to find a way to win this thing.
He does indeed, and you know, anything could happen with him. You know, he could get loose. Anybody on here at this point could potentially spin it out. Nobody wants to, nobody plans on it, obviously. But we are still within the window right now that if something was to happen, you could possibly gain a few spots by going back green. Once we hit the 6th lap mark, then you're in the danger zone that we will not go racing again. But right now it's 11 to go. Mark Walls out front. Brightsman trying to run him down. But, you know, you look around Sean Brightsman right now. He's got some lap cars in his way. Well, not technically in his way anymore. They were there. He was having to battle with them. Chris White, 1 lap down. Not the run he expected to have here tonight. He's saying that he's in 10th place. He's got a solid top 10 finish right now, but it's a lap down. There's only 9 drivers on the lead lap right now. It looks like 78 of Dan Stuzzi almost got it going around, but he did save it.
Yeah, the last car on the lead lap right now, Jason Hunt in that 20 machine. Doing a good job here, having a good showing for that Hunt team. You know, Jason Hunt, Doug Hunt, they're a family effort. Doug Hunt sitting 17th place right now, 1 lap down. But if you look at the chart, we have a lot of people 1 lap down. 10th place, Chris White, first car 1 lap down. And then Andy Vogt in 20th is the last car 1 lap down. So a heavy pace being set here, and it's trapped a lot of good trucks a lap down.
It really has. Is right there. Mark Walls will take it. 9 laps to go here in the race. Again, watching the Northwest Truck Series presented by Sanctuary Studios. It's going to be a good one here. I think Mark Walls is probably going to win this race, but you can't count him out. You definitely have Sean Brightsman that technically, while he's not in a very close striking distance right now, you know, you get loose one or two times, get that truck a little bit sideways, you very well could lose the lead to Sean Brightsman, who is a very fast competitor.
Yeah, it's not just getting the truck loose. Mark Walls is working through traffic. If a lapped vehicle or a vehicle he's coming around the lap has to check up, maybe gets a little sideways in front of Mark Walls, well, then all of a sudden Mark has got to slow his rhythm. He loses that rhythm and timing, and it takes him a moment to gather it back up, and that could be all that Sean Brightsman needs to close the gap.
He has indeed. If you look at their last laps, 42.272 for Mark Walls, 42.183 for Brightsman. He was faster, but again, that was in lap traffic compared to running in no traffic at all. And he's starting to pull away once again, but now Brightsman's going to have to go through that same traffic. And again, it's not a rule per se that you have to let the leaders go. You know, it's a courtesy thing, but you don't have to. And Sean Brightsman isn't technically the leader. He's 2nd place, so these guys, you know, they could show him the same courtesy, and they probably will, but they don't have to. So they could hold him up, as it is the 19 and the 10 battling right now, and they are both multiple laps down. They're both more than 2. Andy Vogt 2 laps down, Matt Henry 3 laps down, so them themselves are not really battling for position either.
No, and you know, once you get a lap down here in the later stages, you kind of accept your fate. We got about 5 laps to go, and you don't want to be the vehicle that was a lap down that caused a situation. So you really start running conservative here at this point. But Mark Walls, Sean Brightsman, John Ottenbacher, those guys, they're still all going full tilt. They're trying to get everything out of the vehicle that they can. And these trucks, it looks like Mark Walls, really one of the best ones tonight, getting the most out of it.
They are indeed. And I'm not sure, we know they're all in the same team chat, but Walls, Brightsman, Ottenbacher, and Stabnow, they very well may be teammates. So I know a few of these are. So if they are all 4 teammates, which I believe they are, they're all in the same team channel here. I'm not sure if they just work together or if they are all officially teammates. That would be 4 out of the top 5. Actually, no, Cushman's up there, so that would be top 5 for them here tonight.
Yeah, that would all be a Wicked Chassis Racing top 5 lockout if they get it done. And they're not too far away from doing just that, as we're on lap 87. Mark Walls coming around to complete this 87th lap and start the 88th lap.
He is indeed. So it'll be 3 to go at the line. That would be amazing. If they finish that way, we'll clarify if they are all on the same team or if they are just working with each other. If they are, we may get them all in here and do a just kind of a team interview here on top of our post-race show to kind of just get a word in with all of them, because that would be a feat that we have not seen here so far.
Real quick, a little bit of housekeeping duties. Trenton Barrington pulled it behind the wall. Mona Liam has also gone behind the wall. Those are the only 2 drivers who have called it a night. Gary Nichols in 24th has soldiered on. He has currently scored 12 laps down in 24th place.
Yeah, he is putting together a good run. Again, his last pit stop's almost 7.5 minutes worth of repairs, as he had already used his fast repair. But he still has some damage, but he is trucking forward, no pun intended. He is moving forward right now. He's not going to gain any positions, I don't believe, as he's got Trenton Barrington 5 laps ahead of him. With 2 laps to go, he's not going to be able to do anything to gain any positions. But again, 2 to go, so this time by will be 1 lap to go as we're watching Mark Walls right there. He will cross the line. So it is now your 1 lap to go, brought to you by iBog Graphics. Oh, again, final lap, white flag is in the air.
White flag in the air. Mark Walls leading this charge. He's got to do it just 1 more straightaway, a couple more corners, and he will lock down this Auto Club Speedway 90-lap race here with MaxSpeedTV.
He is doing a fantastic job of doing it, as he is coming out of a turn of 4. So it'll be right about there. He will indeed bring home the win. A good job for him tonight. And your race winner here tonight is going to be the 29 of Mark Walls. Oh, I don't. Oh, good.
Mark Walls won it. Sean Brightsman second. John Ottenbacher. Man, I told you he was going to win it or finish in the top 5. And he finished in 3rd. Jeff Stabnow 4th. And rounding out the top 5 is Josh Cushman. All 5 drivers part of the Wicked Chassis Racing team.
Indeed, and we'll make it a different kind of interview here, as we're going to watch Mark Walls probably do some donuts here in just a minute. But we are going to hide that for you. So give us just a minute, and we'll be right back here with your post-race show. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit something different here tonight, as we have 5 guys here, 4 of which are teammates, but they all kind of work together. So we're going to get a little bit extended interview, you might say. But KR did catch up with our 5th place finisher here tonight, the 95 of Josh Cushman. So KR, will hand the mic over to you.
Josh Cushman, you run the 95 truck very well tonight. You put it on pole, had a little bit of a setback in the middle of the stages of the race, but here you are, managed to round out a top 5 finish. Give us a little bit of what you went through tonight.
Oh man, I tell you what, it was quite crazy keeping up with these Wicked Chassis guys. They're pretty much on rails. You know, these long green track runs, it was hard to keep the tires underneath of you, and you know, just to keep that truck underneath you, try to keep up pace.
Now, do you think you were burning your tires off? Were you good in the long runs? Were you better in the short runs? What kind of run did you need maybe to put yourself out there up front?
I think that if we would have had a caution within the last 10 laps, I might have been able to give them something. My truck was better on short to medium runs, but I don't have a long run speed. I was just tearing up my right front.
Well, like I said, you put it on pole, so we know you got the speed. Maybe didn't get the finish you wanted, but you still got a top 5, so you can't be disappointed with that. Man.
Oh, no way, man. I'll take a top 5 in this group any day.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a tough group. And if you wind up in the top 5, you know you're doing something right. And not only did you get a top 5, you put it on pole, but people that you would like to thank, sponsors and all that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Walls Beard Co. for hosting the race. Really appreciate it, Mark. Make sure that you guys, if you got a beard, hit up wallsbeardco.com and order some of it up. Stuff kicks butt. I'd like to thank SimStar for coming on as a secondary sponsor as well, and just really appreciate running with this group. It's a fun group of guys to run with, and I really appreciate how everybody works hard every week to put on a good show for you guys.
All right, Mr. Josh Cushman, getting it done, rounding out the top 5, finishing 5th tonight. But we're going to move on now. Charles has tracked down a 4th place finisher.
I have indeed. I have Jeff Stab now with us here, finishing 4th. Just right outside the top 3. You're running up front early. A self-spin, kind of not sure what happened there, just got a little bit loose. Ended up collecting a few cars behind you, went all the way nearly to the back of the field. You come back to 4th place. So what, did you have anything special in the car? Maybe some Talladega Nights, some Days of Thunder special tires in there to get you back to the front?
Yeah, we had that unlimited gearbox and that endless pedal, so every time we wanted to move forward, we just grabbed another gear and pushed the pedal again. Days of Thunder reference there, sorry about that. No, we had a good set, and the set was, it was a rocket for about 7 or 8 laps if you wanted to burn it up, or you could just let it sit and just be a tremendous long run set. So, after my bonehead move there, that put me in the back, took our time coming through traffic, let everybody kind of get in line in the back, and just kind of picked our way through traffic as everybody else kind of started falling off. Hadn't even run the set hard yet, so was able to come through the field pretty nice there.
Well, you did a good job of coming through the field. Again, just one spot shy of getting back into the top 3 and getting a podium finish here. But seeing that y'all almost one team, obviously 4 out of the 5 of you were, we felt it would be cool to get y'all all in here for a quick interview. But we don't want to keep anybody here too late. It's a little bit later for some people, so any shout-outs or sponsors you want to give for that 4th place finish here tonight?
Yeah, of course I do. First of all, anybody that helps us put this on, so Josh Cushman and his company there, they are the series sponsor here, and so they're a big reason we're able to do this, obviously working with you guys. Race sponsor, long-time sponsor, Walls Beard Co. Beard products are awesome. Sport Sim Racing Series. I believe they're even sponsoring some of your other broadcasts now. So, big shout out to Walls Beard Co. Big thanks for helping us do this. SimStar Motorsports for coming on with the secondary sponsorship, of course. Just everybody in the league. You would not believe the amount of time that the majority of these guys put in just getting ready for this race. It's open setups. I mean, we start with a session that's open most of the night Saturday, and you got guys working on it Saturday, working on their own through the week. Tuesday and Wednesday there's open practices, and they're usually full guys working on it. So all the guys in this series that work so hard to put on some good racing here, it's just awesome. Then, of course, my teammates. We just push each other so hard. It's so much easier to build these sets when you all know you got 4 guys that know how to work together. We're building, we're driving. Couldn't do it without this team. Not like we do. We couldn't build the sets in the short amount of time that we have without working together. So, fantastic teammates. And, of course, you guys, Charles.
No, right. Well, quite a few sponsors. Of course, there's a lot of people that make this run as smooth as it does. If it wasn't for everyone involved, none of this would happen the way it does. It runs so smooth. And speaking of running smooth and running well, a 3rd place finish here, the 89 of John Ottenbacher. So KR has caught up with him in the pits. So KR, we'll let you take the mic from here.
John Ottenbacher, man, you were my pick tonight for the race win. And I said if he doesn't win the race, he's going to be inside the top 5. You didn't disappoint. You're sitting on the final step of the podium. Man, John Ottenbacher, thank you for not letting me down. But it's got to feel good to be 3rd tonight.
Oh, yeah, sure does. Feels real good. It's been a while since I sat on the podium, so first time this year, and thanks for picking me.
You're welcome. Week in, week out, you're one of the solid drivers. You kind of got into some bad luck here the last few weeks, but tonight you got your nose clean. Everything was clean for you, and here you are finishing 3rd. Man, tell me a little bit about your pit strategy and what you were thinking there as green flag pit stops went underway in the final stages of the race.
Well, I figured, I get that extra point for leading the lap, so I figured I'd just stay out. I knew Sean was catching me pretty good, so I figured he'd probably get by me anyway, and I was never going to catch Mark. He's too good on tires. So I just stayed out. I stayed out there and led that lap for that extra point. That's all I was going for.
Well, you got that extra point, and you still ended up 3rd. So a big gamble, big reward for you. Congratulations on that. Any sponsors, people you'd like to thank? And I will say you did have a fan in YouTube chat.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife for being my greatest fan, and my kids, and thank them for allowing me to race. And they're my biggest sponsor, probably. Allowed me to purchase a computer and my race trucks and all that kind of stuff. So I thank them first and foremost. And then our race sponsor, Walt's Beard Co. I don't have a beard, but I might have to grow one to try out this Mark stuff there. Our series sponsor, Sanctuary Studios. Thank him. Can't thank them guys enough. SimStar Motorsports coming on secondary sponsorships. Chris does an awesome job, and thank him a lot. And all the drivers that we have in here. This is such a great group. It's unbelievable that what we put together here. These guys just are awesome to run with. Most of them are respectful to each other, and I hope we can keep them all in this series and kind of all work together to build each other up and to continue to improve everybody. Got to thank Highway Equipment Company for sponsorships with the Highway and New Leader brands, and I'm probably missing some people. Thank you guys for making us look good.
All right, John, man, you look good tonight. You got it done, and I gotta say, I approve growing the beard. Let's get her done. I'll grow one with you. All right, so moving on, our second place finisher, Sean Brightsman, and Charles, it sounds like you got him in the crosshairs.
I do indeed. We caught up with him down here on pit road. First off, we just kind of curious. Were you preoccupied, or was there a certain reason? We saw you didn't qualify, and you kind of hung around the back of the field for a big chunk of the early half of the race. But there in the second half, it's like you kicked in the bottle of NOS and just shot to the front and stayed there the rest of the race.
Well, unfortunately, the driver in the 46 Highway Equipment Toyota Tundra failed to qualify. He I just bombed it. I hit the wall a couple times, got a couple incidents, and that unfortunately voids your lap in iRacing. So I just screwed up and put us behind the cart there at the start. So.
Well, that would explain why we didn't see a lap get put in for you. But in the end, the grand scheme of things, it didn't really seem to matter. You had a fast enough truck to get you up to second place. So, if you had been up there earlier in the race and been able to stay up there all race instead of the second half, obviously you had to use your tires to get to the front. Had you already been there, you think you'd have had anything for Mark Walls here tonight?
I think it would have been a show for sure. Although Mark has done a really good job at the past 4 weeks. This is his fourth win in a row. I think we could have contended, at least had a side-by-side battle or trading first place positions at the line, running two different grooves. So Mark was quick tonight. He was on rails. He's got this track down for sure, and kind of the last four. So we're about to kick this guy off the podium and get him out of here because we can't be having this anymore.
Yeah, we do very well may have to. I did hear from down in the tech area that they are impounding that truck and they are going to tear that sucker apart. Something about his roof was caving in during the race, so they're going to take that to the R&D center and get that inspected. Make sure he ain't cheating or anything like that. We don't want him pulling a Harvick on us. So they are going to check that out. But any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give for your second place finish?
I'd like to thank my truck sponsor, Highway. Also like to thank the race sponsor, Walls Beard Co., which I can tell you personally, that Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm is fantastic. I use it pretty much on a daily, and it's fantastic. I got a nice shiny beard. Got to thank MaxSpeedTV, Sanctuary Studios for sponsoring the truck series and bringing all this to fruition. Got to thank Wicked Chassis for all their hard work this week on getting this setup tuned and set to run a log green flag run. That was fantastic. And that's it.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the second place. It looks like KR has caught up with the 29 of Mark Walls. Again, just him, because we just reported that his car has been impounded going into the tech to be teched. But he does look to have caught up with Mark Walls.
Mark Walls, this is KR Stolfus. I want to say one cheating. Good job tonight. Man, I got to tell you, that car, that truck that you had underneath you was a rocket ship. You drove an amazing race tonight. You never panicked. When push came to shove, you found a way to the front. And here you are, victory lane, victory circle. Everyone's been waiting to hear from you. Let's hear what it feels like to win from Mark Walls.
Oh, man, this is phenomenal. The fact that we got this new leader, Chevy Silverado, rolling with us. We got Walls Beard Co. on the hood for the week. They came on board and sponsored the race. So to have all those partners in victory lane is just phenomenal.
A phenomenal feeling. And I got to tell you, despite what everyone's saying, I bet 100% this truck will pass spec. The drivers will just figure out that you're just phenomenal behind the wheel, especially as tires wear out. And I think it deals with a lot of the fact that you put in the time to put in a good setup and you just run lap after lap.
Yeah, that thing was stable all night, and I think that can test to more than just myself. That's a whole team effort right there. Jeff nailed a solid set together, and we bounced it back and forth and ended up staying the same. And if it wasn't for the teammates, we wouldn't be running the way we do. All ideas, all hands on deck, and man, Debbie was fast. It was just glued to the ground.
Well, I got to tell you, man, you didn't set a foot wrong tonight. You led the most laps. You led a very dominating race when the tires were falling off. Your drop-off seemed to be a lot less than everyone else. And here you are, victory lane, victory circle, getting it done tonight here at Auto Club Speedway. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, it's just keeping those tires together. I just get in a line, get in rhythm, and just run smooth. And it just paid off. The longer you run, the more you got to back up and use the throttle and play with the brake. And it works. That's the long run right there.
Well, again, congratulations. Going forward, what are your chances for next week in the trucks and the Xfinity car?
Are we at Martinsville?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's like running at Daytona. It's a crapshoot. Are you going to be involved in the big one, or are you going to be punted on the last lap because no one's going to let you go? It's anybody's ball game, but I can guarantee you that's right up Sean's alley. I'm a little nervous. He likes the short tracks, and he really likes the flat tracks. So you put the combination together, and I'm pretty much going to see his bumper majority of that race. I think everyone else will too. So it's going to be interesting.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on this epic win at Auto Club Speedway. While you got the microphone in your face, what do you want to say to all your adoring fans?
Well, first off, we got to thank all of our sponsors who put the whole series together for us and allow us to be able to have MaxSpeedTV put on these broadcasts. We got to thank Walls Beard Co., Sanctuary Studios for being our primary series sponsor. Without them, we wouldn't be running at all for even a show to be put on. So really got to thank Josh and his company for that. We got to thank SimStar Motorsports for coming on board with the series and really promoting it. Check out their Facebook page. They got a lot of awesome deals on great computer equipment, more towards your sim side. And we got to thank Highway Equipment Company and their amazing brands, New Leader and Highway. Those guys partner with the series. They partner with Wicked Chassis. They're on our trucks. They're my primary sponsor for the season, and it was real awesome that they allowed us to run the Walls Beard Co. all over that thing tonight to represent for what is considered my hometown track and auto club. So it's a fantastic way to close it out.
Man, I couldn't agree more. Fantastic race. You did a great job, even when your tires were giving up. So, again, congratulations on being here in Victory Lane.
Thanks, bud.
All right, Charles. Man, I got to tell you, what a race we saw. It was absolutely insane at the front. And here we are. Mark Walls wins it, Sean Brightsman second, and John Ottenbacher final spot on the podium.
It was indeed a great race. At the end of it already, only 2 more pieces of business to take care of before we sign off for the night, or should I say in the morning here. One of those being, of course, your unofficial race results. So I'll take us through the top 15 and let you round us out here for the night. Again, getting the win is Mark Walls. Second place, Sean Brightsman. Third place, John Ottenbacher. Fourth place, Jeff Stabnell. And fifth place, Josh Cushman. We just talked to all of those drivers. Sixth place, Steve Silstad. Seventh place, Scott Hutchinson. Eighth place, Carl Burke. Ninth place, Jason Hunt. 10th place, Chris White. So again, not the run he was looking here for tonight. 11th place goes to Dan Stuzzi. 12th place, Tom Green. 13th, Ryan Maines. 14th, Kip Leo. And rounding out your top 15 here tonight is Ray Foreigner.
Chris Sherburne gonna finish 16th in the 15 machine. Doug Hunt, the second member of the Hunt Motorsports, finishing 17th tonight. William Fletcher 18th. David Applegate in 19th. Andy Vogt 20th. Mike Peterson 21st. Matt Henry, who had a great race going, but a disappointing event for him as he got caught up into some accidents. He's going to finish 22nd. Trenton Barrington 23rd. Gary Nichols 24th. And the final car to take a lap, Mona Liam in 25th.
And again, the 2 left over here, Brandon Peters and Brad Cornell, did not obviously take laps as already stated by KR. But we want to make sure we go through all the sponsors real fast before we sign off for the night. Again, the general sponsors we have here on board are Menu Runners. If we can switch over, there we go. Menu Runners, Sim Speed Shop, Elite 7 Racing, Ohio IndyCar League, and there we go, Ohio IndyCar League. Some general sponsors here. Obviously, we also would love to give a big shout out to our newest sponsor / partner here on board, and that is Walls Beard Co. They are the official starting grid sponsor for 2018. And obviously, if you're looking to get a little exposure here, we are currently looking for a few more partners to partner up with MaxSpeedTV. So make sure you contact us on our Facebook page about that, and we can get you all the pricing plans and packages that we offer. On the racing side of things, of course, Sanctuary Studios, they are the title sponsor of this series. Big shout out to Josh Cushman for doing that. Highway Equipment Company, they have 2 branches, both of which are partners here of this series and the Xfinity series. One of those is New Leader and the other is Highway. So big shout out to them coming on board to sponsor this series this season. Again, if it wasn't for these sponsors, we would not be here broadcasting this race tonight. But as always, before we sign off, KR, any final words before we call it a night?
Man, just some great racing that we saw tonight. A little bit of a rough start, but once everyone got everything sorted, here we were racing away, had some long green flag runs, some green flag pit stops, and it all came down to Mark Walls being out front and getting it done here tonight.
He did indeed do a great job getting it done here tonight. But that is going to do it here tonight for MaxSpeedTV. On behalf of all the sponsors on both the racing and MaxSpeedTV side of things, and of course the Northwest Racing Series and MaxSpeedTV, we wish you have a safe night, and we'll see you at the next broadcast, which I believe will be Saturday at the Laura Racing Series, as we are completely off tomorrow night here for Friday night. No broadcast going on, so we'll see you Saturday afternoon.